Hello everyone. If you're looking to apply for your study permit extension application, then this video is for you. So for that, we will simply search GCKey login on any search engine, and the first link that you can see here, the one with the canada.ca website, sign into your IRCC secure account. We will click here, then scroll down and you can click sign in. If you don't have your GCKey username and password, you can click on the link mentioned in the description and see how you can create your GCKey account by clicking here. But in this case, we are assuming that you already have your account, so we'll simply click GCKey username and password. And once you are here, you simply need to type in your GCKey username. As you can see, I am typing here, and then password, and then click sign in. Okay, so once you hit sign in, you will simply click on continue. As you can see, I'm doing it here, and once you click continue, another web page opens. It asks you about the authentication code, one-time passcode. So here we used the email address, so we'll receive it on our email. If let's say, as you can see here, I went on my email and then looked for the authentication code, copy and paste it. If you use your mobile phone, you would receive the code in the app. If you use the desktop, you would receive the code on the desktop. You can click continue. If let's say you didn't receive your password, you can simply click on resend code. But since we got it, I simply clicked on continue. Authentication success, continue again. And then sometimes it happens that the page doesn't go through and it shows you this page, so don't worry about it. Simply click English, scroll down and click on sign into your IRCC account, and then sign into your existing account. Scroll down, and we are doing the study permit extension application, so we'll scroll down again, where it says another application, and in the brackets it says study permit extension. We'll click here, and then studying in Canada, and afterwards study permit extension, and then lastly IRCC secure account. So once you click here, you'll simply go to the process again, GCKey username and password, and if the website still have your information, it will take you to the terms and conditions, or it would ask you to enter your username and password again. In this case, we got the terms and conditions page, so we'll simply scroll it down and then click on I accept. Once it is done, we need to enter the security answer. So my favorite color, I chose black, and that is our account which is opened already. So the first part, or the second part, as you can see here, it says continue an application. So these are the applications that you already that are in process, and the first part, view the applications, are those applications that has already been submitted. So if we see over here, we can even continue or delete the application, so we don't need it anymore. So I'll simply delete it, and then continue, as simple as that. So now we want to apply for our study permit extension application. I'll scroll down and then select apply to come to Canada. So click over here, and then if you have the personal reference code, free to type it in. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Scroll down, and then it says that if you don't have the personal reference code, simply click, and here we click the first one, visitor visa, study and or work permit application. So the first tab we clicked, and here are the questions that we need to answer. So first question, what would you like to do in Canada? We would write study. The second one is, how long are you planning to stay in Canada? So it is recommended if you type in more than 6 months, even if you want to extend your study permit for only 2 months. The reason is that it's better to be on a safer side, just in case something happens. So that's why it is recommended to go for more than 6 months. Next, it says select the code that matches your passport. So in this case, I am selecting IND, that is India. If you are from a different country, simply go ahead with that. Sometimes it happens that you renewed your passport from Canada, but now you are not sure what country you should mention. So in that case, the code would be same as your passport. That means the nationality where you are from. So let's say, that's how it goes. More details are shared in the description though. Next was the question, which country or territory are you resident? We selected Canada because we are currently in Canada. And the next one is, if you have any family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. If so, click yes. If not, click no. And then simply you need to mention your date of birth. Once everything is done, click on next. Now, do you have a provincial or territorial attestation? If you have, then select yes, I have. If no, then you can simply select yes, I meet an exception. So if you are applying for a study permit extension from inside Canada, you have an exception that you don't need that letter. If you are applying it from outside of country, then you need that letter. Once it is done, we would simply click on next. So again, you meet an exception for the study permit extension. That's why we selected yes, I made an exception for submitting that letter. Then click next. And once it is done, if you are a lawful permanent resident of US, then click yes. If no, then select no. And then click next again. And what is your immigration status in Canada? You can write student. If you are on a work permit, you can select worker or anything. What is your marital status? You can select whichever applies to you. In this case, I'm selecting never married, single. And your province of destination. So basically, in which province you are currently applying for the work permit. If you are in Ontario, click Ontario. If BC, then BC. In this case, I have selected Alberta. And then click next. So now here are two results. You can either apply for study permit or a temporary resident visa. Temporary resident visa or TRV is something else. We can discuss about this later, or I'll put a link in the description. But for now, we are doing study permit extension, so we will click study permit and then select continue, and then continue again. So now, are you accompanying a family member who has status in Canada? If you are accompanying someone, you can select yes. If you are the only person, then you can select no. In this case, I'm assuming nobody is accompanying you, so we will click on no here and then select next. Once it is done, another page. Do you also want to apply for a work permit? In some of the courses, you are required to have a co-op work permit. If so, you can click yes, I wish to apply for a co-op work permit. If not, then simply click no. And then next. Moving on to the next page, what does your status in Canada expire? So you can write the expiry date of your study permit, and that is written in your study permit itself. So whichever the date is, simply type that in and then click next. Afterwards, if you have performed your medical exam by IRCC authorized within the 12 months, so make sure it is within the 12 months. If you have given the medical within the 12 months, then click yes. If you haven't, then click no. So once it is done, click next. And then if you are required to give a medical exam, or if you intend to work in the jobs that are mentioned over here, then you will click yes. If not, then simply click no. So in this case, I am assuming that it doesn't fall in any of these categories, so I have selected no and then click next. Once it is done, do you want to submit an application for a family member? If in case your spouse is accompanying you, you can select yes and can apply. Let's say if he or she is on an open work permit, then you can simply click yes and can apply for the extension. If not, then simply click no and then go ahead and click next. So next one is, are you giving access to your application to somebody? If you are appointing a representative to act on your behalf, click yes. If you are authorizing somebody, then click yes. Or if let's say you are having both of the above two, then you can select the third point. If neither of the three things apply, simply click no and then click next. And once you selected next, another page appears. If you have given your fingerprints or biometrics in the last 10 years to the IRCC, not the passport office, to the IRCC. If so, then yes. If not, then no. And next, these are the fees associated with the application. If you would be paying your fees, select yes, I will be paying my application fees, and then click next. And the next question is, if you could make the digital copies of your documents, then yes, you can use cam scanner, or you can go to the library for the scanning of the documents. The next question is, if you would be paying your fees online. If yes, select yes. And then here you can see it's mentioned Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatever the card you have mentioned over here, you can pay through any of these cards. And then click next. Once you are here is a list of all those questions and answers that you did so far. You can review everything from top to bottom. You can even save that as a PDF or can get the printed copy. If let's say you thought that you did something wrong and you want to make any changes, you can do that too. And for that, let's say you incorrectly mentioned your date of birth, so you will go on to the pencil button on the top right and click onto here, and then I'm changing it to 02. You can change that information and can click on update information. So once it is done, it could either go forward to the review your answers page, or it would go on to another questions as well. In this case, let's see what happens. I have clicked on update. Okay, in this case it went on to the question, so we will simply double check everything and click next everywhere. And once you click next, yeah, it shows you everything all over again. So just try to answer everything correctly in the first attempt, and then next, and there we go again. Review your answers. If everything is correct, go on to the continue option, and then it goes, another page opens, and then scroll down, click continue, and that another page goes with the document checklist. So here we are with the document checklist. Here you can see the application forms that we need to fill out, the supporting documents that we need to upload, and the additional optional documents that we can upload, and even the total price, how much we have to pay for the extension application. So how to fill these forms, the document checklist and supporting documents, how to submit this and to pay the fees, I have included the link for the same in the description. You can simply go on to there. If in case you still want to modify your answers, as you can see on the top there, it says modify my answers, and then again here we are with that page, and we can simply go through everything again, and then go ahead with modifying the answers. And yeah, that is pretty much about it, and this is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.